Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Bagu Season 1, Episode 19, Gaming Catch-Up Number 4, Labor Day Edition, with Will Cennamo and Jay McClintock. That's right, we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss all the gaming news for September of 2020. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, head on over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. And if you enjoy this podcast today, please share it with your friends. That is the only way we can grow this channel. With that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Bagu.
Hey everybody, welcome to We Are Bagu. This is Duck. I'm here with
Dr.
Ethan Eastwood, and today we have our special guest back. We always have so much fun doing this. We have Will Cennamo. Hey Will, how you doing?
Hey everybody.
And Jay McClintock. Mr. Jay, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Fuck yeah, we're doing this on a Labor Day. Hopefully this gets released sometime this week because we need to do our gaming news roundup for the month of September. So we are super excited to talk, especially after the announcement from Nintendo for the Mario 35th anniversary, which I did not know was going on. These guys hipped me to that, and it was really cool. So let's just start with that before we get into anything else, because that's the big daddy of this conversation. So who was the first one to actually see this online and share it? I can't remember.
I think Ethan shared it with y'all, but we knew about a day ahead.
Right on. So with that said, holy shit, I did not expect this to come out. Wow, so much cool stuff coming out. So I'm just going to jump to it. Who wants to start? Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, 3D All-Stars. Oh, wow.
All right,
Perfection.
So 3D All-Stars. We knew this was coming in some form. We didn't know exactly what it was, but the announcement itself of the 3 games being released on the Switch soon, I think in October, maybe end of September.
It comes out September 18th, and the one thing I'm a little upset about is it's going to be a 6-month window you have to buy this thing.
Yes.
It will be gone at the end of March 2021.
That's
brilliant.
One of my news stories that I brought is the pre-orders are already being scalped.
Really?
For like crazy high prices. They were scooped up and they're already selling for ridiculous prices.
Now we're talking about the physical release of this.
Physical release,
the codes are good to go, so you can get those.
Yeah, that's fine.
But what Ethan was saying is the limited release of not only this, but a couple of the other things that they're putting out here. How do you guys feel about that? Jay, you were saying that you actually think that's smart. You think it's a great idea?
Well, I think in general, I think scarcity is a good thing. When it comes to anything intellectual, I think that it's just really kind of like telling people, hey, get off your ass and buy this. I mean, like, the good news for me, I think, is the fact that you have to kind of act kind of quick. I think it just makes you more involved. I like this whole, like, I think one of y'all mentioned that it's almost like the Disney Vault system.
Will said that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart on their part, and I think it's also a good way to keep people, like, in the loop right now.
I agree with you on the scarcity thing, but I just think the timing of it's kind of shitty, especially considering it's ridiculously hard to get a hold of a Switch at a reasonable price these days.
It's not as hard as it was, say, 4 months ago.
I don't want to refresh 200 times on Target.com, though, Jay. That's the thing.
Or drive 3 hours for nothing.
He got lucky at the end of it. It worked out.
If y'all had any idea what our parents went through to get me a Cabbage Patch Kid, y'all would not worry about.
They literally killed people.
I have to stay on my computer for 10 more minutes than I want to. First world problems.
But that is part of this. This is part of the holiday season. That's why they're doing that. That's why they're trying to boost these numbers. They're trying to make an event for the holiday, I think it's going to work. I think that I'm sold, but of course I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. But I think they're also coming out with the Switch 2.0 sometime soon. Isn't that correct?
I think those rumors are flying around, but
yeah.
I wouldn't bet on that for probably another year or so at least.
So let's go back to why does Mario 3D Collection All-Stars or whatever it's called. Ethan, why is that your jam, your jelly, and your preserves?
Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. 3 absolute 10 out of 10 Mario 3D games. And they're amazing.
I like the look on Will's face. He's gone, Sunshine? Really? Because a lot of people didn't like Sunshine, dude.
It's unique.
I think so
on
too.
top of that, there's a lot of people out there that love Sunshine. They've kept Flood as part of Mario and Super Smash Brothers for, I think, the last 2 or 3 games. So they still are aware of Sunshine, but it's bizarre to me that it never got any sort of sequel. whereas Galaxy did, but the sequel for that got completely omitted from this collection, which is
Why? That was
Good.
my question too. Why did they admit it? Now, $20 a game. I think at retail it's going to be $60 for this, so it is $20 a game. Maybe they'll provide it as like DLC or something down the line. That would be interesting.
not with a 6-month timeline. No,
Don't think.
no.
You think they're saving
They're
it for
gonna-
a second collection?
Big old 4.0, man. All you got to wait is 5 years, and they'll
Oh, I
re-release
see.
that on the Nintendo whatever the fuck they've got.
Two things about this collection I want to
For
ask.
Switch.
First, Mario 64 is not going to be in widescreen. It is in 4.3. How do you guys feel about that?
3D Mario games are kind of shitty.
Oh, he was waiting the whole time to drop it. All right, explain, please.
They're okay. Like, I mean, they're fine, but man, there's nothing better than a 2D Mario. Like, why do you? It's so uncomfortable to control, and platforming in 3D has never really been mastered. I don't feel.
I don't know, man. Have you played Mario Odyssey? Even
Yes.
before that,
Mario
dude,
I've
they're
Galaxy?
played
also
all of
great.
them. I've played every one of them.
Nah, I just can't get on that wagon at all. I feel like
No.
they're two completely different games. It's like I love Metroid and I love Metroid first-person shooter Prime. You know what I mean? Like it's still
Metroid
the same
first-person
thing.
shooter Prime.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what they
the
call
thing
it.
we just talked about like a few weeks ago. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they call it. But the thing is, it's different play styles. I always view it as different, but like, I mean, I always go back to the 2D because I am more of a 2D player. You know, Super Mario Brothers 2 is my favorite game. But at the same time, like, I like the 3D games. And each one does something unique and different. Well, really? You hate
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, they're fine. They're mediocre. They're mediocre games.
them? Yeah?
Really?
Sorry.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude,
sorry.
that is a hot
I think
take
he's got a
right
point
there.
with that. I think he really does because for me, I played Super Mario World like to the bone. And when Mario 64 came out, like I guess it was 96, I was like, oh. And I've never played any of these 3D games. That's one reason I pre-ordered it. So I'm actually, this is going to be my first taste of all these 3D Marios. But yeah, I kind of missed the boat the first time around. So I really have no idea if I'm going to like it or not. But
The
Come on.
gameplay is so fundamentally different. That's why they kind of do both now, where they have like the new Super Mario Brother games, and then Super Mario World 3D or whatever it is kind of a nice mix of the two put together. And like, I like the collectathons. I like those 3D games. I think they're a lot of fun, and there's just different play styles. And does platforming in 3D always work perfectly? No, you're right. But I think they found a way, especially in Super Mario Sunshine, where they do just the specific platforming levels. I think that's where they really got to the meat and bones of figuring out platforming in 3D. But with that said, like I said, the big thing is Mario 64 is in 4.3, which a lot of people are complaining because the PC port that came out a couple of months ago in HD and widescreen, a lot of people were like, well, why couldn't Nintendo fucking do this? The coding was super simple to do it. The coders did it in like a day. The second thing is Mario Galaxy will not have Wii motion controls. It will be using the, because the cursor you use to collect the shine sprites, you'll now have to do it on the analog on the second controller. So a lot of people are wondering how that's going to play out. The other thing I was interested in, Mario Sunshine originated the Wii motion controller, actually. They created that for the GameCube for that game specifically, and Pikmin also. And for whatever reason, they never released it as a peripheral. They just saw an opportunity to release it as a new console. I've always wanted to play Mario Sunshine with those controls, and we're not going to get that chance again. So I'm always going to be intrigued by that.
I mean, it plays just fine without the Wii motion controls anyways. Like, I have really fond memories of Super Mario Sunshine, and, you know, there's a few complaints I have of that game. One of them is not controls. That game plays really fluid. It's Mario motion. It's what you come to expect from a 3D Mario game. It's fantastic.
Will hates it.
I know.
I was shocked that you
Person, I
said that.
hated them. I just they're not. I don't. Who cares? It's like they're not that exciting.
Well, with that said, Super Mario 3D World is also getting a re-release. Did you guys see that the game is running 30% faster than the Wii U version? So basically, for whatever reason, people took the video footage here and they realized, they're like, holy shit, this game's moving quicker. I will give you that. The first time I played that game on the Wii U, I thought, this is a little bit slower than normal, and it's a little bit weird. And then people were showing like the differences in speed. There's comparison videos out there. It looks better running 30% faster. So I'm intrigued by that. Plus, they're adding something called Bowser's Fury. I have no idea what that is.
in the trailer, I was really thinking for a second when they were going into that house. Part of me thought like Wart was coming back, and I was like, oh, it's the blockbuster of the century. But now it's Bowser again.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, I mean, you
That
talk
would have been
about
cool.
Yeah, I would be so down
Yep.
with that. And bring in like the Doki Doki Panic shit. Oh, that would be awesome.
Dude, it's been 35
35 years.
For Wart, Wart has a.
Oh, for Wart.
Maybe
30 to
because it's a
3?
dream game, I guess. But dude, I
That
never
was
thought Wart got his
badass.
time to shine.
I agree with that. As a fan, it's my favorite game. I freaking love that. I would love to see that. Also, Super Mario All-Stars is now available on the Switch Virtual Store on the Switch. We've all had that game a million times. It's not a big deal. They always make that available. But there were a couple peripherals in a new game that they announced. Talk about first the Game & Watch that will play Mario 1, the Lost Levels, and a Game & Watch game. $50. It looks really cool. It looks like the classic Game & Watch with the Famicom colors. What'd you guys think of that?
Wait a minute, it's already sold out.
Shit. Is
It's
it already sold out?
And it's gone.
$500 a piece.
Really?
I'm more interested in the size. Like, how big is it? Because I have, I got the man hands. Like, am I gonna be able to play this thing without cramping up?
No.
In it?
Bill, did you ever have a Game & Watch back in the 80s?
Yeah, we had one. I was like picking up buckets of water and doing something with them.
Yeah, I just remember the Popeye one. That's the one I had.
Okay.
How much were those back in the day? I bet you
They were
those
not cheap. They were premium. I don't know how much they cost, but they were definitely not cheap.
I bet you that was a cool little thing to have on the bus and be like, hey, you wish you had one, you bitches. And they're like, oh.
Yeah, you'd be sitting there on the bus and then hear that thing screeching at you. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Aw.
Dude, when we
It
were
was the height of
kids,
technology.
I mean, it was. When we were kids, if you had one of those little devices or like the Tiger Electronics, man, you were the shit. Like, seriously.
I used to have a little like pinball one. It wasn't a Game & Watch game, but it was in that same style, the little Tiger Electronics
Right.
thing. And those things sounded god awful, but yeah, it was fun.
Oh, they're not great, but they're re-releasing them now. You can buy some at Target again. I think they re-released the Sonic ones and stuff like that. The second thing I will say is the Mario 35. Available on the Switch, limited time, where you play the original Mario game in a versus mode against 35 other people. Looks like Fall Guys for Mario. I'm super pumped about this. What'd you guys think
Fall
about that?
Guys? What?
Dude,
like-
it's a competition.
No.
It's Tetris
No.
99.
Yes.
It's gonna be really good too. I'm excited for that.
I am excited for that. What's
That'll be
Tetris
fun.
99?
Basically, 99 people play Tetris, and as you get good things, you send bad stuff to others, and they send bad stuff to you, and the last one to stay
How's
up.
that going to
Battle
work
Royale,
with the
man.
limited? So after like March,
I
is the
think
game
they're-
just going to disappear?
Yeah, simple enough.
Yeah, that sounds stupid to limit that game, just because you're trying to almost push that you're gonna have all this replay value. At least when it comes to like live stuff, I would imagine they should probably stretch that, but who knows?
I think they're
anything-
tapping into a new idea. Like, hey, we're going to have exclusives. Like, this time you're going to be playing classic Mario level. Next time it'll be like Mario 2 level, and it'll be an event. They're trying to do like Fortnite events where it's, for the next 3 months is Mario month or whatever, and you can play this certain thing for free and whatever.
And
That's
that's
my
what
guess.
people were curious to see if they're doing this for the 35th. Do they do it for the other franchises when we get to Zelda, when we get to Kirby,
Sure.
Metroid, those things? Do they release a version of that where it's like Zelda 35 and then Kirby 35?
That's next year, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
I was watching Wizard and the Bruiser podcast, and they said that these games were made at the same time. That Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers were made at the exact same
I
time.
believe so, but the release would be staggered. I think
Release, yeah.
Zelda was 86, so that would be next year, yeah. But I mean, it's a very intriguing idea that to release all this content and then, like you said, make it a celebration and make it a limited time that they can do that. The last one, though, was the best, I think, which was the Mario Kart RC car. What did you guys think of that? Being able to take Mario Kart and put it in your actual home or wherever you want to play at rec center, church, wherever you could go after the pandemic's done. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, this looks like a bunch of apartments behind everybody, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to play it.
I mean, it's intriguing though. I like that idea. Does that lead to more stuff like that? Is this a prototype or some kind of crazy VR thing they want to release eventually?
It is very cool, but yeah, I don't see like inside. Not a lot of people are going to be able to play it.
No, we don't have the room. People's houses are cluttered. There's shit going on. Like you said, the apartment, it's small. You know what I mean? Like, where are you going to do this? You know?
It's a
I
fun
think
little
the tracks
idea.
are
though.
small too, though. If you saw in the the commercial, it basically showed you like blueprints of what the tracks kind of I think are going to have to look like because of range of connectivity and all that. But the big thing I think is that they only saw 2 carts in the commercial, but they got to release like a Bowser and a Donkey Kong and a
Oh, they will.
Koopa
Guaranteed.
Troopa.
Do you think it's a novelty or do you think it's a full-fledged game?
I think it's going to be a crazy hit. I think it's to get everything out of it. I bet that thing costs like $300 to $500.
$100.
Yep.
That's how much it's going to cost
Yep.
with everything.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's what they're saying right now. The RC cart, and I'm not sure what you call them. The banners, I guess, maybe that.
The little checkpoint flags.
Yeah, the checkpoints that allow you to
yeah.
create the track. As for how that technology works, I have no idea. But
Well, I mean, it was cool because
$500 2 weeks after it releases.
yeah, you're right. It's always going to be 200, 300 afterwards.
I thought it was cool that you could take the little cart, and after you set up those 4 little checkpoint flags, you actually can go through and it maps out the track. So you can make it as crazy complex as you want, as long as you pass through those checkpoints at some point, and it creates a full track. You know, you can do any sort of crazy combination you want. That's cool.
That'd be
like
really
that.
cool. Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's always tried to do stuff with like the AR and stuff like that, have the 3D work within reality to really immerse
Cardboard.
it. And they're that one was the best. We're just like, I bet you we could sell these fuckers cardboard. We could sell them a box in a box and then see what happens. But I mean, at least they're trying new things. And this is Nintendo, I think, moving more towards a toy company. I think that's how they want to be seen now. Not so much as a video game company. They want to be that third-tier niche market, which they've been for a long time. 10 years ago, they tried to get into the mature content. Now they're just like, screw it. We don't need any of that.
That's what they started out. They started out as a card company.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. They're kind of moving back towards that and just realizing this is what we need to do. I think there's been rumors for a long time also about them teaming up with Microsoft for a system in the future. And I always thought it was interesting if this was their way of kind of easing into that by creating a hybrid system that is truly a handheld in many ways, and then maybe eventually teaming up with Microsoft, and then they just dominate the video game industry.
I thought they already had, though.
They have for their
with
online.
like Xbox Live that they were going to do?
Yeah, their gamer tags and stuff like that, I believe, is connected in some way now. And I think they use their online system, so...
Dude, if Microsoft gets their hands on Nintendo's whole online infrastructure, it's over for Sony, dude. Game over.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to have competition in some way.
What does that mean? What is so great about Nintendo's structure?
It's not Nintendo's structure. It's Xbox Live. Xbox Live is amazing.
You said
if they use... Oh, did I?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know about Nintendo's
if
structure.
Microsoft gets their hands on that, where they completely take it over.
They take over. Yes, I get it.
Yeah, no, then it's over for Sony. Xbox
That part's
Live,
cut out.
I think Sony's going to be just
still,
fine.
but-
What are you going to say, Jay? You think Sony will do what?
I think Sony will be just fine.
So,
Yeah.
with that said, with the Mario 35th anniversary, is there anything else you guys want to talk about on that?
I think it's shitty that game is completely going away end of March. They should at least let the digital download stay, but
A lot
how
can
it is.
happen.
I don't even have a Switch, and I'm going to be buying that game. So
Wait, are you talking about the 3D All-Stars?
yes.
You get to keep the game. You could still play that game.
No,
if you
I know,
purchase
but
it.
you can't purchase it. I don't have a Switch.
No, you won't be able to
So my
buy it
only
after.
choice is to buy the physical copy. And with that being gone after March,
For $3,000.
Go buy it before you find a Switch.
Yeah.
I saw Switch Lights at Target last week.
Who wants a Switch
I
Lite?
don't want a Switch
Who
Lite.
wants a Switch Lite?
Oh,
I want to be
yes.
able to switch.
Better than a Switch not.
Yeah, your Switch is pretty light right now, Ethan.
Yeah.
All right,
You know
guys.
what? That's true.
Let's get on to the gaming news. I'm going to begin just because this kind of plays into the Mario 35th. Sega saw everything going on with the Nintendo-gasm over there and decided, we need a little bit of that excitement over here, too. So they announced that Sonic turns 30 next year, and they have planned to release multiple new games. Now, they did this just in a small press release that had, like, some bullet points next to it. But they're just basically going, Sonic's the shit. We sold over $6 billion in revenue. The movie made over $300 million. We're awesome. Sonic's the best. Don't forget Sonic over here. Ethan, as our resident Sonic fanboy, what do you think's going to happen? Sega has a history of releasing shit games for Sonic in a small period of time.
Yep.
Is that what we're looking at? Do you really think they put in the time and effort just to send
What
out
the
this
fuck
small...
do you think, Duck? Yes.
I think
They're
we're about
gonna-
to get some shitty fucking Sonic
We're going to
games.
get the sequel at some point, hopefully next year for the 30th, probably another year out or something like that. And I'm hoping the sequel will be just as good to the first movie, because
Oh, we're
I
talking about the movie.
loved the movie. Yeah,
The
just
movies
the
are
movie
good.
specifically. No, their games have been ass. Sonic Mania was the last decent game to come out in modern history for Sonic here, like the last so many years. And just let Christian Whitehead and his team, all of them, make more of that.
What
You
if
know,
they announced
3D Sonic's done.
What
Sorry.
if they announced Sonic Adventure 3? How would you feel?
I would go in my room and cry because they would
3D
kill
one?
my favorite franchise.
You know,
I have
I
no
don't
faith
think
in
the
them.
Sonic games are bad. I think the truth is, I'm going to say it. This will be my hot button.
Hot take.
Hot
I
take.
think I think
Love hot takes.
I think Sonic's a one-trick pony, and I think everyone just figured out the trick, and all the games pretty much expose that. Mario has evolved. You get to do all these different things with Mario. Sonic goes really fast.
Yep.
And that's about it.
I mean, literally.
The last big thing was the spin dash, and they added that 30 years ago.
Nope. Homing attack. Homing attack.
29 years ago, Ethan. What are you talking about?
They actually innovated with the drop dash, but that's such a minor thing that, again, Sonic Mania, not any of the 3D games. 3D games brought in the homing attack, which was pristine, but no, where they've been totally lacking is in level design, which is something they've really struggled with forever.
You want to talk about going from 2D to 3D? Come on. I mean, Sonic, that's a real struggle. With that said, though, I have played through Sonic Adventure for our first podcast, and I have a little bit of nostalgia for it now. And Sonic 2, I have a little bit of nostalgia for the first level. So it does grow on you, I guess, but it's not the same. But like I said, what would you like to see out of a Sonic games release? Do you think we're going to get mobile games? Do you think we're going to get a new, like I said, Sonic Adventure 3? Do you think we're just going to get some shitty Sonic Forces sequels?
You'll
likely going to be that?
I think you're going to get probably a mobile game, an announcement for the sequel to the movie. You'll probably get either DLC for Sonic Mania again, or a sequel to that, and then another 3D game. Probably a sequel in some form to Sonic Forces, which that ain't it, man.
Not great.
That ain't it.
Bring back Sonic Pinball, man. That was a good one.
Yes, I love
Sonic Spinball 2.
Yes, that would be great. That would get me hyped because I love Sonic Spinball. Oh, Sonic Spinball is the best. That would be great. And the Archie comics, bring them back. People love them. That lasted as long as the games did. It was absolutely insane. All right, who wants to go next? Who's got the first news?
I'll go first. It's been kind of announced that the PS5 now is so limited stock that pretty much pre-ordering it is the only way you're going to be able to get one at launch. And even that is not a guarantee. So they're having a little bit of a backlash on how many are being made and why they're pushing it out so fast, I guess.
Isn't
but it's
that
clear
like
it's for the holiday
just after
season.
they said, oh no, we'll have plenty for everyone.
Yeah, of course it is.
Nintendo
They say it every
strategy.
time.
Make a
You
limited
want a
amount.
PlayStation, you can keep your doctor.
The price was released on accident too, wasn't it? Didn't Call of Duty accidentally? They sent out an announcement and they released the $500 price point for it.
I think it was Best Buy that did it, and yeah, it was like $3.99 to $4.99, depending like digital
Makes
only or
sense.
disc.
And what are we looking at for the new Xbox? Have they said?
They're the same.
About the same.
Is there anything good coming out on the PS5? Have they announced anything that makes you go
Dude.
like, I gotta have one?
Yeah,
Spider-Man
everything that's
Miles
already out.
Morales.
A DLC.
It's not. No, it's a full-fledged game.
It's a fancy DLC.
No, it's a full fucking game.
He's saying
it up.
that it's a fancy DLC.
It's
might
a
be
fancy DLC.
It might be a full game, but Will's trying to tell you is they're just taking that game and
Well, duh.
putting it on there.
Skinning it. Yeah.
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 Everything coming out, man, is just like the upgrade. Like the next, it's GTA 5 again. Skyrim's coming out. Skyrim's like a 90-year-old game, and it's coming on the new systems.
Black
Like-
Ops Cold War.
Yeah. The biggest thing now is, are you getting a free upgrade? And that seems to be the fight with a lot of the games. A lot of games are letting you, if you own it already, you get that upgrade for free when you move up to the PS5 or the Xbox. But some of them aren't, so they're getting like shitted on, you know?
Some of them are convoluted as fuck. Like you have to get this specific edition to get this one for this console, or if you get this one, then you get it's
But
weird.
everything, I think
People
it's
like
just,
a challenge. That's what that is.
that's how you unlock achievements now. You have to figure out how to get the game.
You actually have to go geocaching to find shit at this point. Like it's out of control.
Pretty much everything that is like hyped up that's going to come out is being pushed back because they have to be. There's just no safe ways to really work on things right now, and they lost a lot of months due to the corona and all that. And everything's still getting worked on, and it'll just be a bunch of upgrades right off the bat.
Corona fucks us again.
Exactly.
Jay, do you have any thoughts on that?
For one, I never buy anything first run. I'm very patient. It took me like 4 years to get an iPhone. It took me a year to get a PS4. I mean, Xbox One took me like 3 years. I'm patient. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it first day, but
And there's always something wrong with that first gen.
sure,
Always.
always.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next news story. Who wants to go, Jay or Ethan? Jay is up.
Caught an article last week. Should give a little hope to you, Ethan. You ever heard of a guy named Richard Epcar?
That sounds really familiar, but I couldn't tell you who he is.
He's a voice actor. and he does voice acting on certain fighting games.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
So apparently, he let something leak that
Something amazing.
apparently Ash Williams will be making his way to Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes, yeah, I did. I read that too. Fuck
Hail to
yeah.
the king, baby.
Somebody was saying that recently on this podcast that they wanted to see that. So Ash Williams will be making his way, boomstick and all, hopefully, over to Mortal Kombat 11. How do you guys feel about that?
Dude, they've been cock teasing him for just so much. Just fucking release him already. Please, he was supposed to be in Combat Pack 1. It showed up in-game, and they took that away.
What do you mean it showed up in-game?
When the Combat Pack first came out, people were getting pop-ups that listed all the characters that had been announced for it, and instead of, I think it was the Joker, it said Ash Williams.
Really?
And then they patched that out.
My question is, how long has Will known that this was coming?
We don't have a relationship with Mortal Kombat.
So what do you think, Will?
I thought that he was talking about the Pokemon guy for a second there, and then I realized that I'm the dumb here.
What's the deal with the Pokemon guy?
Ash Ketchum was going to be in Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, that would be so much better. I would be so down with that. Gotta catch them all, motherfucker.
Yeah, you could chuck
Pokemon.
Pikachu at Baraka.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Fucking Sub-Zero just ripping frozen Pikachu
Oh,
in
my
half.
God, dude.
I kind of want to see a music video now called "Kill 'Em All" instead of "Catch 'Em All."
I gotta kill them all. Fatality.
I'll
That's
kill
awesome.
you and you'll kill me.
Kill them all. That is fucking awesome, though. I'm super excited about that. I hope that we get a little bit more of the Evil Dead here in the next couple of years, too, just because, you know, Bruce Campbell is getting up there in age, and so is Sam Raimi. So I'd like to see, like, one final hurrah. I really like everything up to this point that they've done. So hopefully within 5 years, they get one last one, and then that's it. But, I mean,
Ash versus Evil Dead? What? I thought that was a beautiful love
Oh, it
letter.
was? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying give it one
Where do
more
they go
go.
from that? Where do they go from that? It's the future.
Who knows? Just do it. Just give us something. It's Sam Raimi. He can figure something out. It'd be fun. I mean,
Didn't
we're
he
moving
say
into
he already had a
multiverse.
script idea for in case Bruce Campbell wanted to come back? It sounded like he already had a movie in the chamber ready to go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure those guys just get on set and just be like, what do you want to do? And then just make fun shit at this point.
Okay, go over there and scream.
Yeah.
We'll pour blood.
Bring them
on
into
you
Mortal
in a few
Kombat.
minutes.
That would be great. Into the movie franchise that they're making. Multiverse is shit.
We used to have this comic named Tom Wilson. Do y'all know who Tom Wilson is?
Uh-huh. He played Biff.
Well,
On
so
set.
his shtick a lot of times was that he'd get on stage and he'd be like, "Hey, don't ask me to do all the lines," but like ultimately, like he has a song about it, and of course everyone's going to ask him about me and Biff. And so I think Bruce Campbell in a lot of ways did a lot of that, like in the '90s, where he was like, "Oh, don't talk to me about Evil Dead. Don't talk to me about Evil Dead." And then everyone stopped talking to him altogether, and he's like, "Hey, hey, Evil Dead."
Hey, want to remember Evil Dead? I was in Evil Dead. And Tom Wilson, for years, carried a card where it kind of like Steve Martin, where he'd just hand it to people. He'd be like, here are the answers to all your questions, because people just ask the same questions over and over again. I've always wanted to get one of those cards from him. I thought that'd be cool. Ethan, you ready?
No Man's Sky, their developer Hello Games, is in the news again because they are teasing yet another huge game. That has me scared, man.
I can't wait for that to be good in 3 years.
Exactly. I bought into No Man's Sky day one, and it's good now. Like 13 updates later, 4 or 5 years later.
What is it with them releasing all these buggy, using their audience as beta testers? Why do they keep doing this?
Because
Well,
people have the attention spans of gnats now, and so if you don't catch them now, you'll lose them. Like the world's that fickle now, without a doubt.
and plus
That's one
they can
thing
get
I
away
really
with it.
hate. I've grown to hate being a PC gamer because that's mostly what I do now. Is because every single new game that comes out is early access. So any game that I'm getting, I'm like, this game's great for an hour of what I get. And then it's like, okay, well, this game will be great once it's done. And I move it to a folder, you know what I mean? And just wait for the constant updates.
And then you're on
like
to the next
7
thing.
games. Yeah, I have 8 games right now installed just waiting for them to be done and better. It
Yeah.
drives me nuts.
2, 3, 4,
So
5,
they're
6,
basically making you pay full price for a tech demo a lot of the times, right?
If I'm not mistaken, with No Man's Sky specifically, it was right around their Beyond update, which is 7 updates later. Each update coming out, I think, like 5 or 6 months apart. 7 updates later, that's when people are like, oh, okay, you finally have just about everything you promised from day one in the game now.
I mean, and like Jay said, how do you hold people's attention that long with a game like that? Whereas you get a game like Fall Guys that comes out, fucking breaks
Instant
the
hit.
gaming community, and it's such a simple fucking game, but it's the enjoyment of that environment and that gameplay and being first at the end of that line, you know what I mean? So it's really cool.
I really do like No Man's Sky. It was ambitious and it's fun now. But if they want to have any hope of any future games being decent at all, they need to show actual gameplay, not just a recording of what your game is and how it should play. They need to get this shit right, is what I'm saying. They can't pull another No Man's Sky and have it be good in 2019, 3 years after it releases. They need to get it right. If you promise something and say, hey, our game is going to do XYZ, I better see XYZ. Plain and simple. If you tell me I can play with my friends, I should be able to play with my friends day one.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast.
I want to jump into my next one. Fall Guys Season 2 has been announced. Are you guys playing Fall Guys?
Fuck
Of
yeah.
course.
I don't even know what that is.
Jay, you gotta get in here with us. Would you have a PS4?
Yeah, of course.
Bro, we gotta get you on there. It's a game show starring jelly beans, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Everyone's playing it, dude, and it's worth your time. It is so much fun. What do you guys think of it?
Is it still free? It was free last month, right?
It was free, I think, on Epic Games, but now you have to pay. I just dropped $35. I dropped $20 on the game on Steam, and then $15 on DLC shit. And I do not regret my purchase. My girlfriend got on the PS4 so we could play it over here. Everyone's playing the PS4, Jay. If you get it, we'll play it that way, dude. It's so fucking good. It's so much fun. But the game itself, they're releasing Season 2 soon, which is going to have a medieval theme to it and all new courses. The original game has something like 20 courses, and it's like one of those Japanese game shows where you watch people get eliminated through the different things. It's unbelievably fun. And if you get a crown, which is the crowning achievement, you come in number 1, like you just feel like the best at that point. Because it is challenging. Like the controls are limited, but there's secret ways to go through. I could talk about Fall Guys all day. So much fun.
Has anyone here gotten a crown?
I did from leveling up.
I got mine from
have
winning,
not.
thank you, but only once.
Yeah, what was the end game that you got? Did you get Hexagon? Did you get Fall Mountain? Or did you get the jump one?
It was the race up the mountain.
Yeah.
Although I came in second on one of the little ones with the the tiles where
The
you have to
hexagon,
try to-
yeah.
yeah, the hexagons. That one's fun. I like that one the best, but no, I won the race. It was like, hey.
Fall
Yeah.
Mountain was the closest I got, and I got maybe third, but I was like right there. So close.
Season 2, though, there are going to be more games. They're going to implement new stuff and also the costumes. This game I see for the next 6 months to a year being the new Fortnite, possibly game of the year. Like people of all ages are jumping on this. It's so much fun. The only thing I have to complain about it is the Steam version of it or the online PC version of it. You can't name your character anymore because people are giving their characters bad, naughty names. So everyone's just Fall Guy with a number after it.
I know the team games in that, it's a great game, but I hate the team games. My team always sucks.
I disagree with that. I do not like the team games personally, but I think they're the perfect fit because that's part of the frustration of the game that makes
Right.
it so much fun.
Yeah,
Because it's not
I
just
can't
up to you to
disagree
lose the round at that time. It's up to your team. And if you get a shit team, you're just like, fuck, I was going so great.
Yeah.
Now I'm
and
here.
even if it is my fault, I can blame those motherfuckers the whole time. Love it.
True.
It's fun. All right, Jay, what you got for the next one?
Okay, this is a very thinly veiled way to bring pro wrestling into the conversation.
That's fine.
Apparently, Vince McMahon has put all of his superstars on notice. They have until October 2nd to cut ties with all third parties that they use to make money, which would include YouTube and the one video game one, Twitch.
Really?
There's a guy named Xavier Woods who has a very, very popular YouTube channel called Up Up Down Down. It's really popular. But basically, Vince McMahon's saying that you've got a month to cut ties with all your side hustles, so to speak, because they are under his employment.
He's an idiot. He's living in the past. Like, that's ridiculous to think that that's even a concept that would work. Social media is what drives people's interest back to the WWE. Do you think this is a good idea?
I think it's a horrible idea. With all their side hustles, they're supplementing their income so they don't come to you asking for a raise.
Right. They can't afford fucking health insurance, for crying out loud. These people are dying at an early age, so they're just trying to find some way to make it work.
And two, I don't see how this isn't cutting off your nose despite your face. Like, all these side hustles are what give you the exposure that you need to keep the company going, especially in a time when they can't even have live events. Really don't understand his mindset at all. This is definitely making people think he's maybe going a little actually crazy.
He's always been crazy, man. And I mean, he became the villain that he portrayed for so long. It's just not smart. It's not smart business. Like Will said to me once, he goes, social media is 70% of the fucking job. How do you get people to come out and look at what you're trying to produce? Yeah, he's already established, but if you don't continue to have that fire and to build a new audience, eventually it's going to die off. And if anything, he should be doing the inverse. He should be embracing and telling people that they need to have a social media presence, just like every other entertainment industry does at this point. If you don't have social media, you are not going to get recognized for what you do on a regular basis.
Well, that's why his competition over at AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling, they've been...
I thought you meant the burger and root beer place.
All Elite Wrestling, yeah. They've been on air for just about a year now, and it's almost like they literally watch what WWE does and says, and don't do that, and don't do that, and don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like they're literally just giving them all the ammo they need so they can succeed.
It sounds like shitty business practices.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised at all that it's something that they would do.
That sounds like Vince McMahon. That sounds like a Vince McMahon move. But he's living in the past. The dude's got so much money, he should just let these kids do what they need to do to make their money. Just like sports sponsorship. Let them find their money any way they can. All right, who's next?
I got a fun one. So today, a gentleman by the name of, @Foon on Twitter, posted that he placed Doom on a pregnancy test.
I saw that.
I just sent it to you guys. You can literally play Doom on a pregnancy test.
Doom is literally on everything, bro. Are you serious?
It's official.
Does it play Doom?
That is the coolest thing I've heard all day. I want to see this. No way.
It doesn't look amazing, but it absolutely plays.
It looks better than a line or two. Yeah. One line, not pregnant. 2 lines, pregnant. Doom. You're gonna have the Antichrist.
Say hello to Damien for me. Wow, that's cool looking though. What is he using?
Just ridiculous.
It's like a tiny keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little tiny keyboard.
So not only...
No, he's peeing on it.
It's one of those Sega urinal games. That's what it is.
Pee up, pee down.
But it literally is playable. It's crazy, and it looks good. And it's only in black and white. That's what's really cool about it. But you can make out everything. It's classic Doom. Do we know how many levels, or is it just like the first level, or what's going on? Or was it like...
They put it on a pregnancy test, Duck. I don't think we need to go into the schematics.
All right, fair enough. I'll give you that.
Is it just the shareware version, or is it the game?
Yep. All right, fair enough. All right. Anything else on that, other than that being fucking awesome?
Oh, that's it.
Is this your favorite version of Doom port? Mine has to be the Corvette, where he had it on the CD player screen, and actually to go forward and backwards, you had to drive the vehicle. I thought that was fucking great. You guys have a favorite port that's along those lines?
This is my new favorite.
I mean, that one kind of beats my old favorite. Good old TI-80 whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Ethan, you're up. What you got?
How the fuck am I supposed to follow that up?
You're not. That's you're screwed.
More just kind of I want to see what y'all think on this one. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, they haven't said anything about zombies yet, but they did show some stuff from the campaign. They actually have a fully rendered model and voice for Ronald Reagan, who I guess plays a really big part in the campaign. So what I'm thinking here is, are we going to get Ronald Reagan in zombies? Are we going to be able to play as my man Reagan and slay the undead?
When did you become a Reaganite? What just happened?
There's a precedent for this. In Black Ops 1, they had JFK, Nixon, McNamara, and Fidel Castro. So are we going to get some more famous political figures and whatnot slaying some zombies? That would be fucking cool.
Speaking about slaying, did you know that Fidel Castro slayed Trudeau's wife's pussy, and Justin Trudeau's son is actually the love child of Fidel Castro and his wife? Look up the photos, dude. It's insane. You will be like, what the fuck? That is Fidel Castro's son. Look up the photos. I
Okay.
just stopped
What?
the podcast cold.
Cool.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it. Anyhow,
Yeah,
about him
zombies.
is that
Hey, Castro's kid is running Canada.
I
Okay.
don't,
But
All I
can
know
you
about
be the
Trudeau is
kid and kill
really
zombies?
loves like brown face and black face, and like he's done it like
technically, is he allowed to do it if he's Fidel Castro's son?
I'm not. I'm
Not touching that with the 10-foot pole.
I
All right. All right. So Reagan, you want to see it? Yes. Anyone else want to see Reagan in there?
Sure, why not?
As the resident COD, the COD fan here, which is always Call of Duty or Persona on this podcast, you're super pumped, Ethan.
I think it'd be cool. I don't know who else they like famous political figure wise they would get, but
Why haven't they done George W. Bush yet? Get W in there.
well, I mean they're going for a 1980s sort of thing with
Right.
that era of Cold War.
All right. Let's move on to this. Is interesting. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Does everyone know what's going on right now with Epic Games and Apple and Google? Is that on your list to talk about, Ethan?
Yep.
Okay, so here's basically the breakdown of it. Fortnite is no longer available on the App Store for either Google or for Apple right now because Epic saw that they were losing 30% in revenue. So what they did was they said, screw this, we're going to sell our currency, our in-game currency online to people at a discount of 20%. That means the 30% we're losing will no longer lose because that amount was being taken by Apple or Google whenever they bought the currency online. You went to the Epic website, you bought the currency, you saved 20%. Epic made an additional 10% on it. Then you could use it in game because it's cross-platform. Apple and Google saw that, said, fuck you, Epic Games, and took Fortnite off of that. Not only did they do that, they didn't allow the other Unreal Engine games to update. So Epic Games took them to court and said, screw this, we're going to sue. Right now, there's a temporary restraining. Fortnite is not being put back on the app stores, but the other games that were stopped from updating that use the Epic engine will be allowed to update. But this is in a process right now to find out what's going on.
No.
Ethan, go ahead.
Apple completely removed Epic from the App Store, period.
So
So
it's
that
not
might be
back at
true
all.
for Google Play Store, but they're gone
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
App
they-
Store.
They put the other Unreal Engine games, but
Right.
yeah, they've dropped Epic.
So
Yeah,
Epic's gone
if
completely.
Epic published it, then it's gone.
How do you guys feel about this? Like the whole thing altogether? It's an interesting situation, but I understand why Epic did what they did, but I also understand why the big corporate companies did what they did. I mean, Epic's a big corporate company too, so.
Yeah, they're both just kind of slapping each other back and forth and trying to see who's going to come out ahead. I don't know how much it's really going to play out in Epic's favor, sadly. I think they'll just give up on Apple and expect that, just deal with that. But I don't think they're going to win anything out of this. I think that it's a dead fish.
And isn't that just the price of doing business? I mean, if these corporations took 30%, you understood that before going into this,
You
right?
agreed,
So
yeah.
That's where they're kind of getting stuck is because to publish apps on the App Store, you have to go through Apple's process of verification. You have to agree to all of their things, including that. If you have any sort of transactions or anything at all, 30% is theirs. But Epic actually makes a pretty good case. There's other apps and software and other programs on there that have subscription services that Apple doesn't get a dime from. Netflix, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're just crunching down hard on the gaming industry because this is a little bit of speculation here. Apple's trying to dig into that in their own right with their, what is it, Apple Arcade or something like that. They have a subscription service where you can play a whole bunch of Apple apps if you just pay a monthly fee, much like Games Pass, PS Now, stuff like that. So Apple wants not just their cut of the pie, they want a little bit of everyone else's too. 30%.
they do own the world, so it's I guess that you play by those rules. So they're really taking on the giant at this point. Does it ruin Epic Games in the long run? I don't think it does.
No.
If they lose,
Not at
this,
all.
so.
No.
It might make people less likely to do business with them because I think actually it kind of makes Epic look kind of bad because they're basically like, well, it's successful now. We want more of it back, and it's like, well, yeah, but I'm not saying that Apple was necessarily super critical to their success to begin with, but if you're using their market to help you, and then all of a sudden you're like, but I don't like it. I don't know. It's like you're kind of going back on yourself. It's greed. It's all about greed. I never jumped on the Fortnite bandwagon. Like I never got into the whole battle royal scene. I hear about it enough, but it's just I don't know.
I don't know. After watching that concert, I'm telling you, I'm still intrigued by it. Sometimes I think I get a little bit of FOMO. I'm like, maybe I'm missing out on this shit. So
It's a lot of fun right now, especially the new season is all Marvel superheroes.
yeah, I heard you take on Galactus. Is that right?
It hasn't been officially shown, but they are alluding a lot to it. There's a lot of leaks that way. But
I think it was you that told me that, Ethan.
Yeah, I only ever got into it because of work, and it's a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be.
I remember when you started playing it. You're like, yeah, I'm addicted.
Wait a minute. This could be like a Scooby-Doo mystery. So now all of a sudden they've got Marvel characters in Fortnite.
Oh, they've had it for a while.
They did.
now.
They started that with Infinity War, didn't they? When they brought in Thanos and you could.
Yep. And then they had Deadpool about 2 seasons ago. Last season was all DC with Aquaman and I don't know. I think
Fortnite is part of the multi-universe. Dear Lord.
Yeah, they are actually like that is
Canonical.
considered canon now with
What?
the comics. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The Marvel part of it.
I thought they bridged the DC universe too. That was canonical in a sense. One of the
Perhaps.
many.
My mind was just blown, just like the fucking Doom pregnancy test right there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's considered canon.
So here's my question: did Epic Games have to pay Marvel and DC to use their characters?
I'm sure they're both getting a lot out of this. I'm sure they're getting a cut of everything that's purchased.
So my question is, being the devil's advocate, is maybe Epic's like spread their money a little too thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to pay a little to Apple, a little to Disney, and
Little to Marvel.
a little to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Maybe they hoard themselves out just a little bit too much.
Those dirty sluts.
Now all of a sudden they're like, but I want my money back.
Maybe.
Very good point.
That would make sense.
Jay, I think you're up next, right? Or is it Will?
Go ahead, Will.
I only have one left. The unofficial teaser has been put out for the new Left 4 Dead update. Left 4 Dead 2, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful looking, first off. Like
It looks great.
It shows Bill, and he's so smooth and texturized. It's really good. But it's called Left 4 Dead Last Stand. They're saying that it's closer than you think, and they're going to be releasing that, and very exciting stuff.
Is it PC only, or is that coming across the different...
I'm going to assume it's PC only, because it's a modding group that got together and like really, really put a lot of effort into this. But
And they went to Valve with it, and they're like, can we release this? And Valve said yes?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the marketplace for Steam in general, they love mod support. Left 4 Dead 2, you can go through Steam and see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mods people have made, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Me and Will
Valve is
spent 2 hours trying to get them working one day. We couldn't. We're just like, fuck it, we give up. Like,
With multiplayer.
yeah.
We were working on our own, but yeah.
Yeah, they as a group it wasn't working. But god damn, I am excited about that. I will play that, and we need to play some games of that when that comes out. Jay, did you ever jump on the Left 4 Dead train?
I actually did play Left 4 Dead quite a bit, but it's been a decade. Like
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I mean, it was a big moment, and then like we just stopped. I just remember the big fat zombie, the what do they call it? The bloater.
Not bloater.
Yeah.
Boomer.
Boomer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boomer,
Bloater
whatever,
was Bloater was Last of Us. My bad.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, we need to play that when's that drop, Will?
There's no official date.
No official date. No. So, do
TM.
you think this is a holdover until Left 4 Dead 3 is announced, or you don't think we're ever getting that?
I think that they're going to see how well this does and then decide if they want to push for Left 4 Dead 3. But if you want to play Left 4 Dead 3, just play World War Z, because that's essentially what it is, but in third person.
If my computer would run it, I would. It is awfully
Hopefully
slow.
they'll do something like what they did with Half-Life, use their new VR gear and stuff to
I was just thinking
bring out a
that.
Left 4
So
Dead
that
game.
17 people can play it.
Yeah, those VR headsets.
Those
are
17
expensive.
people think it's really cool, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, who wants to go next?
The only thing I guess I kind of want to talk about is apparently I guess the Avengers game just released.
Yep,
I think Will's been playing that, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, how
I heard
is?
some about this
Are-
last time. We were all just kind of gearing up for it to release. Saying,
Yeah, did we ever find out who those other characters were they were going to release?
No, but Spider-Man got confirmed for PlayStation between the last time we did this and now.
I think Jay called that. He said if they do it, it'll be an exclusive.
I'm just wondering about it. I've heard it's sitting about 7 out of 10, I think, in most reviews.
That's a solid number. It is a good game. It is not an amazing game. they're kind of following the Destiny 2 model where you have a story that you follow and then you have a bunch of like strike missions. So you can go on, play multiplayer and do different stuff, and they'll be adding new missions as time goes by and new cosmetics and whatnot. There was a big leak that says like a whole list of names like Ant-Man and Black Panther and all them are going to eventually show up on it. But the way they're using microtransactions,
It's
I
bad.
think it's going to end up costing a lot to get anything you really, really want. But overall, it is a fun game. I did not have to pay for it, so I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to drop $60 on that game. You know what I mean?
On top of that, they've been having some really serious problems on console specifically. Even on like a PlayStation 4 Pro, it runs like a potato. It's choppy, it stutters, there's visual and game glitches throughout. It's not a good port.
But
PC is the way to play, but if you want Spidey whenever he comes out, you gotta have PS4, man.
Kamala's just as good. Kamala's the best character in that game, in my opinion. Like,
Who?
it's fun.
Ms.
Kamala Khan.
Marvel?
Ms. Marvel, yeah. And she feels like Spider-Man because she uses her stretchy arms to grab onto things and whip around and whatnot. All it's missing is a skin, but it feels like you're Spider-Man and you're punching and doing all these crazy tricks. She's definitely the coolest person to be.
Yeah, I've heard that it has a lot of corridor feeling where like it's just you're on a track, and especially when it comes to like Iron Man, like it doesn't play exactly right. So
a lot of people were complaining about Iron Man, but more of the writing and voice acting side of things is he's Deadpool but looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
I'd give him that. I think the worst is Thor. Whoever did the voice acting for Thor, just like, oh man, I am Thor and I'm doing the thing with my hammer. Like,
Bartholomew, is that you?
yeah, it doesn't fit with the rest of the characters.
Yeah. I heard the Hulk gameplay wasn't great either, but I definitely want to try it out and see where it's
I like
at.
being Hulk. Hulk's
Yeah.
fun because, I mean, Hulk smash, like, that's what you do. So when you're him, you're running around and you're smashing. The only thing I don't like is that there's still, like, not loot boxes, I don't want to use that word. There's still chests to find as Hulk. So it's really weird when you're bashing and smashing everything and then you, like, run around looking in different corners to try to find a chest to kick open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just odd for Hulk. They should just not do chests for Hulk.
That or allow you to chest smash. Just pick it up and throw
Or
it down.
switch
and-
back and forth. You can
Yeah.
go back to back because you play
Oh,
a banner, but you
That's
don't do
cool.
anything.
Yeah, they should do that. That would be great. Anyhow, I haven't played the game. I'm judging it. I probably should. I should probably check it out. So
It is fun, and
Yeah.
wait for it to be $40, and it's worth $40.
Most of the reviews have pretty much said it's just meh.
Yeah.
Man.
Not horrible, not great, just subpar. Probably the novel of it is that it's an Avengers game. So if it was any other game, everyone probably wouldn't give it as much leeway.
And the
But
story's great. Like the campaign story, I'm about maybe 25% through, and I'm really enjoying the story. It feels very much like an Avengers story.
you gonna give it a go, Jay? You gonna try it out?
I think I will. I'll wait till it goes down in price a little bit.
Right on. Okay, let me do this last one, and then we'll wind this down.
Talk for 3 hours about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
I mean, we could if you want. We can do a Pro Skater cast if you want. That's totally cool.
Just
So yeah, the last one I want to do, and I know Ethan will enjoy this. The realm of Mario 64 hacking is freaking crazy. I don't know if you guys see these ROM hacks, but this guy who does a lot of ROM hacks for Mario 64 has released what is called the Yoshi Garden, which is basically the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure done with Yoshi.
that's
it-
awesome.
So it's very intriguing. You get to go in, change stats. You get to race them just like you would the Chow. There's a what they call a black market where you go in, you can buy different things to increase the stats. That's cool enough, and it all runs within Mario 64, which we hate, by the way. I don't know if you heard earlier. But to actually get the stuff to increase your stats, you have to actually go play Mario 64, the game. So it's just an addition to the game. But when you defeat enemies, they create different stats for you where you can go back in and use those to build your Yoshis. When you collect stars, a different star amount, you actually get to pick different hats for them to dress your Yoshis up with. It's really cool. It's called the Yoshi Garden. Definitely go online, check out a video of it. If you're a fan of stuff like that, like Sonic Adventure, which I know you are, Ethan, definitely maybe give it a try. But this guy does all kinds of mods. His whole YouTube channel is just full of different Mario 64 mods he's done, and they're all unique and interesting. So just want to tell you guys about that because I love hacked games and mods and things like that. So not
Yeah,
as
that's
cool as
badass.
the Doom fucking pregnancy test, which I really want to try. But otherwise, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. But anything else you guys want to talk about today?
I think we pretty much hit everything.
Cool. Happy Labor Day to all, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, thank you for joining us. This has been Duck, and I've been here with
Dr. E.
and Will Cennamo. Will, thank you.
Dr. W.
And Jay McClintock. Thank you, Jay. And Ethan, take us out, because I hate calling people bitches.
Will, Jay, you know this well.
You're bitches.
Billy Mitchell, so just stop trying.
I love doing it every time. I wish people could see the look on Will's face, like, why the fuck do they do this? Everything else
I forget it every time. I'm like, what is he? He said something about you're not someone, and I forget it every single time.
You ain't Billy Mitchell.
He's coming back hardcore, by the way. He's getting a following again. Like, that guy is on. I don't know if you watch.
Is he not Dr. Disrespect? I thought it was just him.
No, that's
with a
another
wig
guy.
and-
Which
Yeah.
we should talk about Dr. Disrespect another time.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Era, where we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, that's Javi. We're breaking down pop culture, and we're having a blast. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go ahead and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. But with that said, I have to remind you, I can never let you forget this. You ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch. So stop trying. We'll see you next time.